If your idea of searching for a financial advisor is just typing in Google, advisor near me, this video is for you. And stay tuned and make sure you stay all the way to the end because there's a special tool that we use that'll help you vet financial advisors. I'm Derek Mazzarella with Gateway Financial Partners, and today we're going to talk about how you actually find a financial advisor, and I'm going to give you some insider tips from our industry that'll help you pick the right advisor for yourself. So what are the steps? The first step should be figure out what you really want to get out of the relationship with your advisor. Are you someone that just needs help with a quick thing, like maybe you need life insurance, or maybe you need some help doing a full retirement plan, or maybe it's something in between. So you really want to figure out what is it that I want to get out of this relationship and have a real clear understanding of that. So once you get to the next step is, you've heard of financial advisor. It's a very broad term. So advisors can be anything from, hey, I'm an insurance person, to I'm a stock picker, to I'm a full planner. So often when I get asked that question, people automatically assume I have some hot stock. That may or may not be the case because every advisor is really different. So the real gambit is, hey, I'm really insurance focused, so I focus more on life insurance planning, estate planning with life insurance. The other end of the spectrum, you have advisors that really focus more on the investment process. Their value add is typically helping you find a better investment process than what you're currently using. And then someone in the middle is a full financial planner. They typically integrate both the investment piece and the life insurance piece and really give you a full financial plan. That may not be what you need. It may be overkill for what you need, but just know that's kind of the range. You have full planner, you have an insurance focused person, and you have an investment focused person. Okay, after that, you want to look at, does the advisor have a specialty? You may have a specific need. So let's say you have a special needs child and you need to do some planning. There are some advisors that really hone in on that. Maybe you're just getting ready to retire and you're looking out, okay, I need a really retirement income plan. That's my main need. There are advisors that focus on retirement income planning for retirees. So you really want to match up your need with their specialty. So don't be afraid to ask if they have a specialty. And one way to do it is just kind of check and see if they have any information on their website that kind of matches up with that specialty. Generally, if they do have that kind of niche, you're going to see that on their website or somewhere when you're searching for information on there. And if you don't see it, just ask. So leading to that, what are some questions you should actually ask an advisor, the important ones? I've seen a number of websites that point out all these questions, the 12 questions you should ask. Most of them are kind of overkill, but the real main ones you want to focus on are understand how they get paid. Now, when it comes to financial advisors, they get paid in generally one of three ways. One is their fee only. So all you do is you write them a check for their services, kind of like a CPA or kind of like an attorney. They provide a plan or a schedule of their service, and here you go. It's very transactional. That's it. The other two ways are fee-based. So it sounds like fee only, but it's a little different. Fee-based is, let's say they charge a fee for the assets that they manage. It could be 1%. So if you had $1 million, they're basically charging you $10,000 a year to either manage the assets or include the plan in that. Some advisors will include the plan as part of that fee-based management. The other end of the spectrum is commissions. So things like annuities, life insurance, basically any insurance product is going to charge a commission. There are also mutual funds. They provide a commission to the advisor. So you're not actually writing them a check. You're not actually taking money out of your accounts. They're getting paid by the insurance provider for essentially linking you up with the insurance carrier product. So there's commission-based, there's fee-based, and there's fee-only. There's pros and cons to each one of them. Fee-only is allegedly more transparent. You just get what you pay for. Fee-based, you basically have a more direct relationship. One benefit of the fee-based plan is typically it's designed so that when you do well, the advisor also does well. And commission is typically more of a fit when it's kind of a one-off thing and you just need life insurance or you just need XYZ insurance product. They get paid for that and they provide basically a free consulting service on that part of it because they're getting paid by the carriers and you're not actually sending out a check to them. So that's one thing to understand. One subset of that to be aware of is some advisors will actually get benefits or maybe they get incentive to a trip if they sell one particular product. So they may be affiliated with a particular insurance carrier, and that carrier incentivizes them to let's say sell this life insurance policy because they get rewarded with a trip, or their benefits are calculated through that. Doesn't mean they're a bad advisor, but I think it's just something you should definitely be aware of, and you want to make sure that that fits your needs. Okay. One other thing to look at are how do they pick their investments? Do they have an investment process? Are they doing the investment picking on their own, or are they using a third party? Neither one is better or worse. Some advisors really focus on the investment because that's what they really enjoy doing. Some will offload it to a third party because they focus more on the planning aspect, let's say. But one question I would ask, if they do pick their own investments, just understand where you are in their priority list. So if you have maybe 200,000, are you priority number 1 or are you priority number 325? So you just want to know that that's where you stand within their client list. They may not be upfront about that, but I would definitely at least ask the question about that. The other piece I would ask, and this helps you understand where they are in terms of their skills and abilities, is what licenses do they have? So when it comes to insurance licenses, they're going to have typically a life, maybe accident and health. And when it comes to the investment side, you're going to see a series, blah, 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 right? So a series 7, series 66, series 60, 6, a series 65. All of those relate to investment management. Generally, 7 will allow them to do stocks and basically almost any transaction. 60s are going to allow them to do more advisory type business where they're doing that fee-based model so they can pick and choose. Generally, you want to see at least the 7, 66, and 65, something along those lines. That'll be kind of what you're looking for. The other piece is you may see some letters after their name. So those are credentials. You may see CFP, which is something that I have. You may see CFA, you may see RICP. Just ask them what those letters actually mean. There's a reason they typically got it, and that may give you a hint on their specialty. My specialty is more on financial planning and retirement income planning. That's why I got the CFP. There are some that are really focused just on retirement income planning. That's the RICP. There's the CFA. Those are more investment related. So just to understand what their designation is and how they actually apply that to their practice, because that can help you understand what they really specialize in. I would ask kind of generic things about their practice. How do you know you're on track? So let's say we decide to work together. How do you know that I'm on track for my goals? What metrics does the financial advisor actually use to say, hey, we're in line with what we're doing and we're way off track here and we need to make some adjustments? I think that's probably a mislooked question to ask. And then also, how are we going to work together? What's their initial process when we start? Most have a pretty formal process in the beginning, but once you turn into a client, what's the service model like? How often are we meeting? Are we meeting every 6 months, every 2 months, once a year? Am I never going to hear from you again? Do you just send me emails? So really determine if how they work with current clients works with your schedule. So if you're a person that likes to meet in person, they only do Zoom calls, maybe they're not the best fit. So you just want to make sure your expectations are meeting what the financial advisor is actually providing for you. So what are some red flags to watch out for? There's a few. Basically, one of the things I see that I always causes a red flag for me, do they move firms every couple of years? That's a red flag for me because let's say you were hiring someone and you looked at the resume and every year they had a different job. Makes you kind of a little bit nervous about why they're not staying in the same company for. You just want to see at least a little bit of longevity, at least 1 or 2 places along those lines. And if they have moved around a lot, be transparent with them. Ask them why. Say, hey, this makes me a little nervous. I've seen you've been at 4 firms. What's the deal with that? Because that does affect you, because there's typically fees for closing accounts. You do have to move money. They may not have the same investment model that you have at this current firm that they're looking to move to your new firm. So a decision that an advisor makes personally can actually really affect you. Another red flag I see is if they're consistently pushing one product. So they're always saying, hey, you got to buy this, you got to buy this, you got to buy this one thing. If you can't explain to, let's say, one of your friends why you bought a financial product, you shouldn't buy it. So at a minimum, they should be explaining to you, this is why we're doing it, this is how it fits within your plan, and this is how it fits within your goals. If that doesn't line up, huge red flag. If you're asking all these questions that I've told you to ask them, and they don't answer that, red flag. If they're not being transparent, that's also a red flag. And the final thing that we're going to look at and show you how to actually vet one tool to actually vet financial advisors is called BrokerCheck. What BrokerCheck does is it lets you look at their entire history, where they worked, what licenses they have, do they have any red flags? So if there's any customer complaints, they do have to register that, and that is public information. So you do have the ability to look that up. So we're going to walk you through next how to go to broker check and what all the different items mean. So you want to go to brokercheck.finra.org, and then we're going to go look and see what an advisor has. So I'm going to pull up my broker check now so you can see exactly what we're looking at. So I pulled it up here. We're in broker check. Type my name in, hit search. My profile has come up. If you see in the top left, you're going to see what licenses I have. You're going to see what states I'm involved with. And then down below, you're going to see a timeline. This is all of the places that I've worked at over the years. And then as you see here, I don't have any customer complaints. Yay me. But that's typically what you want to see when you're looking for advisors. You want to make sure that they don't have any customer complaints. If they do, it's not the end of the world. Things do happen. But you do want to get some clarity as far as what happened with the advisor and their client. So the broker check is an excellent tool to use because it's public information. It's reported by FINRA, which is one of our governing bodies. So make sure that we actually track and say, hey, look, this is where this person has been. This is where the advisor has for licenses. And this is essentially any issues or complaints they've had with clients or customers. Some are small, but some can be more important or more of a red flag for what you're looking for. So in a nutshell, when it comes to picking a financial advisor, I think that what you really want to do is A, get clarity in terms of what you actually want to get out of the relationship with the advisor. Really think about what you want. 2, figure out where the advisor is and does that fit your specialty, or their specialty. 3, go ahead and ask them those questions. Make sure you're comfortable with how they're getting paid. And if you're not comfortable with that, find an advisor that does sync up with that. Watch out for the red flags. And then finally, go ahead on broker check and then figure out if they have a clean record. So Derek Mazzarella with Gateway Financial Partners. Hopefully you stayed this long. And if you did like the video, please like and subscribe. And we'll see you soon.